So what a day for Sam Harvey, playing John Higgins live on television. First of 4 goes through the last 64. Mike Hallett alongside me. I guess, well, it's a short match, Mike. I guess it's important for Sam to try and settle early on.
Yes, it is. These no previous meetings between these two. But, of course, he's playing a legend in John Higgins. We know how tough he is. But we know the standard of snooker these days, and it's in depth down the list. And there's no guarantees. And John will not take this lad lightly. There's no doubt about that. But, as you say, it's just a question of how quickly Sam can settle.
Well, I can tell you, he once in a practice match had a break of 151, which is very rare, obviously, with the help of a free ball.
Well, unfortunately for him, the red's just come out and it's on for John Higgins here. It was a tough pot to take on from that distance, but he knew the rewards if it went in.
1.
That's exactly what he didn't want, really, is to allow somebody like John Higgins to have some early table time. One of the favourites, of course, this weekend, John Higgins. Just fancy him having a good season this year, David. Last year he was a bit in and out. Season before was fantastic. Last year, he said by his own admissions, he wasn't really on it, but he started well this year, as you've already mentioned, in Bulgaria. And I think he's going to be at the business end of a lot of these tournaments this season.
Yes, he's always kind of been like that, John. He's had good seasons, he's had bad seasons, but when they're good, they're really good. And you expect plenty of silverware.
Well, he also mentioned as well that I think he's slightly inspired with what Ronnie did at the Crucible at 37 years of age. What's John, about the same, isn't he? 37, 38 now?
38, knocking on now, John.
Yeah, so obviously it's given a little bit of a lift. He's thinking, well, if Ronnie can do it, why can't I?
15.
He's still a great competitor. You don't want him in the draw, that is for sure.
Well, certainly when you speak to players, they put the two of them, Sullivan and Higgins, still right at the very top as the two best players in the game. He beat O'Sullivan in Bulgaria, he beat Sean Murphy, and in the final he beat Neil Robertson, so he had to play well to win that tournament.
Another player that's changed his cue this season, gone into the new campaign. Well, I was just thinking, actually, for that young man, if John Higgins gets in the mood here, this might not take too long. No disrespect to Sam Baird. He will get chances,
6.
but he'll have to take them. Because this guy at the table here gives you nothing.
$31. 32.
Well, you commented yesterday on how quick this table is. It's settled down very quickly. It looks super fast. That's what these players like. Quick tables, so they can just stroke the balls around the table. He's left that one a little bit awkward. That's a little bit careless from John there. Nice shot.
Pot.
And it's a nice cannon off the other red, but unfortunately he's blocked the pocket. Now, will he take the blue one? Well, there, it looks good.
Blue ball.
Until the red finished on that cushion.
John Higgins, 40.
Well, 40, but he'd be annoyed with himself that he lost position.
One.
Well, good chance here for Sam then to try and settle. Get the Q arm going. Good angle on the brown as we watch the replay. He could get into the pack here or play on the loose red. Well, I would suggest go for the pack. Try and get them open. Well, he's going to do that from the black.
5.
Nice to see snooker back in Holland though, David. Was it 20 years, 21 years?
Yes, they've waited a long time, but as with many parts of Europe, they've been watching snooker the last decade on Eurosport.
Six.
Yeah, a lot of praise and whatever. He's got to go to Jan Verhaas as well, who's championed the event here.
Yes, Jan was on the official poster, which is pretty rare to see a referee on a poster, but he is a bit of a legend in these parts.
Oh.
Harvey 6.
And as if he's left that red into the middle, that could be trouble. Well, he didn't. He got away with that one. Again, I mentioned yesterday as well, these PTCs are great, aren't they? Because you see a lot of new faces on the tables, on the match tables, where sometimes they'll be playing on the back tables and not always come through. So it's nice to see new faces on our screens.
Well, certainly, as an amateur, before these came along, you wouldn't have any chance to play John Higgins on television, unless, obviously, you work your way through the pro ranks. So it's a great chance for someone like Sam Harvey.
That white is close, he doesn't want that in.
Well,
Oh, that's unlucky.
John Higgins 4.
The lad that played quite well yesterday, Ryan Corsten, who took on Stuart Bingham. Now, he looks like he's got it all together there, and give him another couple of years. Hopefully he's got professional aspirations.
Well, obviously a good chance now for John Higgins to kill off this opening frame. He's made a good start to the season.
7.
Been practicing hard with that new cue. Lost first round of the World Championship to Mark Davis, and a lot of people seem to think that was it for him, but a bit early to just write him off completely.
Well, all the greats prove the critics wrong, don't they?
They
did that with Stephen Hendry, I think, at their peril.
15.
Well, I remember when Hendry lost to Marcus Campbell famously at the UK Championship 9-0, and the obituaries were written, but of course at the end of the season he won his 7th World Championship, and he did bring it up.
Yeah, don't worry, it's down in the book, isn't it?
21.
This frame is over, it would seem.
I think the second frame, this next frame for Sam, will be very important indeed. If John leads 2-0 and then becomes 3-0, well, it's going to be sticky for him from there. But if he can manage to level things up at 1-1, he'll feel part of this match. So the next frame for the young man will be mightily important. But a professional job here from John Higgins.
John Higgins 28 under
Yes,
frame.
he's done enough to take the opening frame. Sam Harvey did have a chance. He missed that black going into the reds, and Higgins has won it. He leads here in Rotterdam, 1-0. And right now, Steve Maguire has kicked off. He's in the first frame against Sean O'Sullivan. Maguire will be another player who will be up towards the top of the list of favourites of this title.
Wow, great shot. I wonder whether he'll take the brown onto the middle. Should tuck him behind it, really.
Bravo. Somehow we won.
Big arena this, Dave, isn't it? 10 tables. We saw the space between the tables. And we got the wide shot like an aircraft hangar.
Yes, it's a good setup, this is. I like these events, you know, especially if you're a spectator, you can watch whoever you want. And there's plenty of room, as you say, for the players.
Well, good hit, but he's left one to the green pocket. Well, it was a chance.
Yes, he'll get chances, but maybe not many. Certainly not as many as he would get against players lower down the list. Well, this looks like another one.
Yeah, John was just trying to avoid the pack there. It's caught the red too thick, obviously. The black's tied up. I'm not sure if the pink goes to either corner pocket. I'd be disappointed that he didn't chip that one in. But, well, if Sam here can just take a couple of reds and blues and get amongst the black spot, obviously the pink goes then. Well, this is really where you could do with a good 70 or 80 break. Just give him a little bit of a confidence boost. Oh dear, he's not missed that, has he? I thought he missed it for a minute. But that's not a clever shot.
7.
Well, I didn't think that red went at first, but it's okay. He hasn't kept control of this cue ball so far.
13.
This is tough if he's taking this on.
Looks good. Great shot.
Well, that's going to give him a lot of confidence. That was not easy.
Yeah, I just wonder if this red might pass the black, actually. The one that's nearest to it. He's still got one at the edge of the pack. He's just checking that now. That would be ideal to get rid of that one. Open up the black. Might play a little punch shot into the pack. Again, not too clever. And this would be a big shot if he takes this red on. I would suggest just play off the one that's nearest the pink for a safety and just wait. He's underhit that by a long way.
Harvey, 19.
Yes, that was the only shot there, really. Well, John taking the opportunity to free up the black there. Good cue ball. Well, I think there's a little tempter here on the right-hand side. I think he can get through to that red. And if he can pop that in, he will be on the black. Might be just a bit too early to be taking those on. Well, he needs some cover. Well, I think he might have got it. There's two possibilities here. As you can see, he's snookered with the blue. John can play a plant, one onto the other, or he could take this red on into the left corner pocket. Great shot. Well, that was bang in the middle. And he's in again. Well, he's gone a bit far for the black, but he still has the pink. That sprung off that side cushion. He snookered once more, but it's a much easier plant to play now. You just get the feeling, though, David, when that first red went in, you thought, end of frame.
7.
Yes, he's just cueing so well that he's obviously worked hard with that new cue in the summer since the World Championship, and of course he's got a snooker room at home now. McManus said that it's one of the nicest he's ever seen, so he's put the work in. He didn't play the first couple of tournaments of last season, but different strategy this year as he tries to get used to that cue, and it's obviously paying off so far.
8.
One player who's not here is Ali Carter. He's had treatment for testicular cancer, but got some great news yesterday. He's got the all clear, so that's wonderful, and we'll see Ali back at the Shanghai Masters.
Yeah, that's fantastic news.
16.
He's been through the mill the last few years, hasn't he? He's such a nice guy.
$23. 24.
Well, if John gets himself through a couple of rounds here this weekend, it'll put him through the £6 million barrier for prize money on the table.
29.
I think I'm right in saying I think it's about the third. It's behind Stephen Hendry and Ronnie O'Sullivan. Prize money. Still got a few years in him as well, I think.
37.
Well, when you consider Walter Donaldson, Scotland's first ever world champion, packed the game in because couldn't make a living from it.
38.
But his fellow countrymen, Higgins and Hendry, have done pretty well.
Well, he's got them open now. This is a great chance to make it 2-0.
Yes, Sam Harvey, I'm sure, fearing the worst.
I think the only hope is if this blue doesn't go in. Well, oh, hang on. I think he's out of position. He played to slide past that red. Good blue, but I don't think he's on a red here.
43.
He played on the lower red, just above the black, and he hasn't got there. And I think this is a safety. So the frame not over yet. There's still plenty on there for Sam.
Yeah, it was frame over if he'd have got on a red for sure, but he didn't, so 23 in it. Yeah, Walter Donaldson, he was world champion just after Joe Davis in the 1940s, and eventually, when the game went into serious decline, he got so fed up. Not only did he pack it in, but he broke up the slates of his table to pave a path in his front garden. That's what you call packing it in.
Broke a few cues in my time, never had the table. We were talking last night over dinner, weren't we? Me, yourself, and Joe and Phil about, you know, people like Walter Lindrum and Horace Lindrum, and Joe said he thought that Walter Lindrum was the best player he'd ever seen holding a cue. So that's some accolade, isn't it, considering the modern game?
Absolutely.
But his touch and his billiards, you know, obviously it was billiards rather than snooker, but Joe was saying his touch was wonderful. And you got the likes of Joe Davis as well. Well, he's managed to cover that one.
Yeah, snooker's got a long history. It was invented in India. That's going in. It was invented in India, and of course, so we're going back there in October for the Indian Open, so that'll be something to look forward to. Well, that went wrong for Higgins. Now then, can Sam Harvey here in 2013 take advantage? This needs to go in, you feel. And it hasn't.
Wow, John not able to take advantage. Just a little quick shot there in the background of Ryan Day. He's on table 3 playing young man Ryan Clark. I can tell you that he's 1-0 up at the moment, Ryan Day. Oh, didn't want that. But this looks a little bit straight. I'm not sure what Sam can do with it unless he can get back for the pink. Well, he's got a little bit of angle.
Foul. John Higgins 4.
Well, that doesn't help.
Well, Walter Lindrum would have enjoyed this one in billiards. Not so much Sam Harvey in snooker.
Well, if this one goes in, he'll be on the pink. Should be frame over. But also, he knows that if he misses it, he'll be leaving Sam a red on. He might play this with an element of safety. He might just screw the white back a little for the blue or one of the baulk colours. That's why he's left himself the angle. Great shot. Well, it's not ideal. I think the blue is a better shot than the pink. He had the chance, and he had a small sort of slight angle on that red, but unfortunately for him, found the corner pocket with the cue ball. Could be end of frame if this goes in. Well, he's gone too far. Well, I don't think he's played that. He's been lucky to land on the red to the middle.
6.
I think he played on the red, that same red, to the corner.
Seven.
Well, black and one more red will be enough.
$14. 15.
Well, it's about to go 2-0. And Sam's had a couple of half chances in this one. I'm afraid this might be the pattern of the match, actually. 2-0 already in double quick time for the former world champion.
22.
And if it goes 3-0, that's a long way back for Sam Harvey. Out of position, but it doesn't really matter.
32.
Especially when you can knock those in.
Yes, he's looking very comfortable, and as you say, he's not really been put under a lot of pressure so far.
35.
I think also, I mean, one of his top challenges here, or challengers, I should say, Neil Robertson, he's not here. He's still at home in Australia. I think he's got a virus or something. He's not too well, so he's decided to stay there for a few days and get fitter for the next event.
39.
He was very disappointed that he couldn't travel and play here in Holland. He wanted to play. He apologised to everybody not being able to make it, because he would have been one of the favourites, of course.
Yes, I think there'll be a few glad that he stayed away, frankly, the form he's been in. John Higgins has been in pretty good form as well early season, and he's made a good start here in Rotterdam this morning. Sam Harvey clearly with it all to do, because the 4 times world champion John Higgins in early control here. He leads by 2 frames to 0.
Third frame. Sam Harvey to break.
Sam Harvey, coached by Nigel Gilbert, he was a former professional, and obviously he can give him advice about what it's like to be out there. He's played at the Crucible, Nigel.
Yes, the problem you've got in these sprint matches, there's no interval, so you can't have a chat with anybody.
That's right.
It's straight through.
I suppose you could send a note down or something.
Well, this is massive, this next frame, and he's given John an early chance here. If Sam doesn't get this one, John Higgins, of course, is a strong favourite, and that's bang in the middle. It's so important to make sure that that break-off shot is good. What happens here today, Sam, they'll take a lot from this. It's all about, it's about the learning curve. You can't get better than this guy if you're trying to learn things off. It's all about character building.
3. 4.
This guy's taken a few knocks down the years, but he's come back even stronger. And that's why he's a legend in the game. seem to be very good. These top players are just shrugging things off and getting on with it.
12. $19. $20.
Well, that wasn't bang in the middle. It was slightly in back half of the pocket, but it grabbed it. Oh, great shot. Caught them beautifully. Okay, he's left it a little bit awkward, but he is on one.
27. $28.
Needs a slight angle on this black, which I think he has got. Just to come round off 2 cushions, but I think there's a red on the pink spot that goes into the right corner. If you can get onto that one. There's also the one that's just right of the pink. It does have some angle. Wow, this must be a plant.
35.
There you go. It can be made. Nice little
36.
stun through the gap as well, but this is looking a little bit ominous here for Sam Harvey. He's in the mood here this morning, John Higgins. And of course, let's not forget that, like we said yesterday, these boys have to play 3 matches in one day and then 4 tomorrow to win this event. So
43.
the less energy you expend, the easier it is, of course. Get him out of the way quickly and move
44.
on.
Yes, and of course, half of the draw, they get the day off today. But these guys will be playing 2 days running, or they hope to be anyway. Sam Harvey's broken off in this frame. That might be all he...
51.
I can tell you that the winner of this
52.
match will play the winner of Andrew Paget and Elliot Slesser in the next round.
$1-0 to Slesser at the moment. Andrew Paget qualified for the Crucible a couple of years ago. His good friend Mark Williams
58.
said, "You're the worst player ever to qualify for the Crucible." There's a nice little pep talk for Andrew before he played there.
Normally it's tongue-in-cheek with Mark, isn't it? But I think he meant it, didn't he? Nice mate.
Well, Higgins just a couple of balls away here from 3-0.
66.
Snooker players aren't supposed to be morning people, but John Higgins has hit the ground running this morning.
This might be the guy to beat this weekend.
$73.
Well, he's made
74.
533 centuries in his career. Could this be 534?
$81.
Possible 140 on here.
$82.
Yes, we had a 142 yesterday from Matt Selt, although there's no high break prize.
Yeah, Rod Lawler had a 140 in his victory over Rhian Evans.
89.
Importance, of course, is to put the frames on the board, which John is doing. He'll put him 1 frame away from victory.
Well, this has been a masterclass, really, this frame. As I say, Harvey broke off, he left a long red on. John Higgins has done the rest.
96.
Well, I think number 534 is on its way.
Yeah, there it is. 9 centuries already this season. It's been a great early part of the campaign
104
for John Higgins. Just contending with a little fly there.
John Higgins.
Oh, well, he hit that all wrong, but 104 will do. What a great frame that was from the Scotsman, and he's fully in control now. 1 frame from victory. He leads Sam Harvey here in Rotterdam by 3 frames to 0.
4th frame. John Higgins to break.
Harvey had a few chances first 2 frames. 3rd frame he broke off, that's all he did. Higgins made 104 off it.
Welcome to the big time. Still a great competitor at 38.
Referee just checking to see if this is a touching ball.
Touching ball.
Yeah, I just wonder whether he's left the one onto the right corner. I'm not sure. Sorry, the left corner, I should say. Well, he's just wondering whether he can see enough of the potting angle. He's got the alternative, of course, with it being touching ball. He can just play away into bulk.
Yeah.
I think he's called for the swan neck. He's underhit that. It's always tricky when you're really cueing over a ball like that to get the power into the cue ball. And he's given Sam a chance here at this left unred. Downward striking, not looking to hit the red. Didn't really get the power into it, but this is a chance. Oh, he's a fair way away there. What damage has he done? John straight back in.
One.
Again, not the best
6.
positional shot there. It's gone a little bit too far. It's okay, but get himself back for the blue hit.
Seven. Twelve. 13. 20. $21.
Well, there is a loose red here, but he might go full-blooded into the pack. Lots of top spin. He wants these open. He wants frame and match at this visit. That's unlucky. They've stuck. Thought he might have gone with a little bit more power, actually.
28.
I don't think there's anything on there.
Well, even the greats need a bit of luck here and there. Didn't get it there. Well, 3-0 down, 28-0 down, but at least he comes back to the table.
Unlucky. Yeah, just saw Stephen Maguire in the background there. He's playing young Sean O'Sullivan. But Stephen Maguire's 1-0 up, but it's pretty even in the second.
It was a tough red he took on. Ooh.
Wow.
Well, should have gone to Specsavers.
7.
That went all wrong. What a calamitous shot that turned out to be. Missed the red completely. It was a thin contact he looked for. Hit the black, went in off.
Yeah, well, we said he's 38. I hope the eyes aren't going.
Oh dear. Went about as bad as it could, that. Well, at least he didn't leave a pot on.
Well, he has done this time.
Well, chances are running out for Sam Harvey, but this is one. Oh dear.
Got to take those at this level. That might now be the beginning of the end for the young man.
One.
Oh, look at that. 70%. I thought it might be a little bit higher, actually.
6.
But, well, the total points speaks for itself, really.
7.
Yes, I get the feeling the stats aren't going to get any better the more we put on the screen for Sam. Well, there you are.
Yeah, fairly easy sort of run out for John Higgins here. Only 19 for Sam. Well, a workout, I should say. Disrespect to Sam, he hasn't really got going and put John under any pressure.
12.
I thought this might happen.
13.
Well, there we are. It's a pretty telling stat, I think. Pot success 59% against 95 for Higgins.
That's high, isn't it, for John? 95%. That's top draw.
18.
So disappointment, if this is to be the end.
There's always something you can learn from matches, though.
19.
Take something away from them.
26. 27.
Nice touch of side there to get the right side of the blue. Well, in this form, I'll say it again, this could be the guy to beat this weekend. Still some great players around, but John looks in good form.
Well, put it this way, I think it would be a surprise if we didn't see him tomorrow featuring in the final day. A couple of balls away from winning his first match. He'd have to win 7 in total, of course, to win the title, which is what he did in Bulgaria a few weeks back.
40.
Not really been pushed, let's be honest, but he looks pretty sharp nonetheless.
41. .48. .49.
Well, there's enough on for a second century. Made 104 in the third frame.
Would be a nice way to finish.
57.
Yes, this is the standard that Sam Harvey and all the other amateur players coming through are looking to aspire to and one day to reach. John Higgins actually won 3 ranking titles when he was still a teenager.
65. .72. John Higgins, 72.
Well, it's not a second century, but it's a good 72. It's a good workout for John Higgins. He's come through 4-0 and, well, he's coasted over the line, let's be honest. He's looking very sharp. Still a lot of work to do to win the title, but it's 1 down, 6 to go for John Higgins into the last 64 here in Rotterdam. Disappointment for Sam Harvey. He did have a couple of chances in the first couple of frames. Third frame, all he did was break off, and 3-0 down, of course, against Higgins. It was always going to be tough.